Been a realtor for probably about 2 years now. And we're at the Bill Conference 2021, having an amazing time here.
Amazing.
So, and then we have Tony Robbins coming later today. So that's going to be a big treat for me. I've never met Tony. I've never seen him in person. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. How about yourself?
I'm excited. Long time coming.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Cool. And so, like we talked about, we're at the Bill Conference 2021 for EXP agents. And what the Bill Conference is trying to show agents, teams, brokers, how to grow their business to that next level. And what has been your biggest takeaway thus far from this conference?
So far, I'll say, let me start off with Gene, I think it's, what is it?
Gene Frederick.
Gene Frederick.
Yes.
He just talked, he was so passionate about everything, the why, and just the nickel. So my nickel may not be your nickel. Your nickel may not be my nickel. And my nickel may be a little bit less than yours,
yes.
You know, the value of it all. So I'm just understanding my value as a realtor that I can bring to anyone. So far that's been my biggest takeaway, that I am valuable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so for me, I would say the biggest takeaway I've had from it is, why not me? I've watched all these other agents, different backgrounds, different scenarios, different situations. And so I think to myself, what's different between me and that person? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they have that I don't have? I mean, they got 2 legs, 2 arms. We're physically the same. Why can't I do that same thing? So that's been the biggest takeaway for me, is why can't I be that big agent on stage, or that mega agent who's top producing agent in that area? So that's been the biggest takeaway for me so far.
So far, based upon what we have experienced so far, what is the difference that you're noticing as far as your why it can't be you then versus you now?
Well, I think for me, my why is a little different, because I've been spoiled by the military for 20-some years, so I've been accustomed to always having a paycheck every 1st and 15th. But I think now my why has pushed me to a different level, because I want more than that. You know, like you said, your nickel is different from my nickel.
Right.
So for me, I want to be at that next level. I want to be that top person on stage with a team. So I always wanted to take something to the next level. Just like being in the military. When you're in the military, you get a promotion. Okay, great. Now you're thinking about, okay, so what's the next step? What's the next rank? What's the next accomplishment? What's the next mission? And so that's what I've kind of taken my why to. Okay, let's take it to the next level. I want to be able to sit back when I'm old and gray and look back and say I have no regret of where I took my business to in real estate. So that's my why.
Okay.
And yourself?
Well, you already know I have 8 kids, so I'm not gonna lie, that is my why.
Okay.
I want to leave something other than bills to my children.
Yes.
To give them a financial start. So I'm not gonna say this is my why. I have all these whys. No, my primary why is my children.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so if you don't know Shalonda's story, she went from a part-time agent to completely full-time. You burned that boat and said, hey, I'm going full-time. What was that moment like for you, or what was that thought process? You like, man, I'm finna burn this boat, I'm finna go in full-time?
First of all, I was scared. I have a very close friend of mine. We were in communication for a minute about the transition. So I played with the thought probably since the previous October. And I went to a morning huddle, and our leader, she talked about burning the boat. So I was already battling, like, it was hard for me to be a part-time agent. I couldn't be at this showing. I couldn't, if I had a request, I was at a 9 to 5 and still broke.
Yeah.
Like, I was just broke. So I got tired of being broke at somebody else's job, even though I made good money, but I was still broke. And that was like my push. Like, literally, I called my brother-in-law that's in Texas. And I was like, as a business owner, when did you know it was your final straw?
Gotcha.
And he just kind of told me, you have to listen to the inner self. And then, my background with faith, I felt like God was already showing me. He just kept putting things in my way that caused me to no longer want to be at that job.
Gotcha.
So I woke up one morning, went to a closing at 9, quit my job the same day.
Wow. So you just went all out, said, forget this, I'm going straight it.
I was deuces.
Wow. So you really didn't do a type of, I guess some people do like a transition. Okay, I'll give myself 6 months, 3 months. You just said, forget it. I am going all in on this thing. I'm either going to sink or swim.
No, you know what? It was 4 phone calls.
Okay.
I had 4 phone calls. I went to my sister, my brother-in-law, that's here in Texas, my natural brother,
Okay.
and a friend of mine.
Okay.
I went to those 4 people and was like, just trying to get some information. I needed a hype man,
Okay, gotcha.
So I was already motivated, but I needed somebody to say, Shalon, to go ahead and just go. All 4 of them gave me that feedback, like, girl, go ahead and do your thing. I see you on social media. I'll buy a house from you. So I was like, okay, that's my go. I text my supervisor. I was like, I'm out. I'll turn the keys in, da-da-da. But I was gone.
Got you.
And I was broke, y'all. I only had like $500 in the bank account. So my check didn't even clear from the closing. So I was like really out.
Wow. Well, I can't say the same. I haven't had to be part-time. I will say it did take me, 6 months.
Okay.
Till I closed actually 3.5, maybe 4 months till I closed my first deal.
Okay.
I think my misconception about getting into the business was it was going to be easy.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be like, oh man, I know people, I'm going to start selling houses like this.
Okay.
And when I got into the business and realized that it takes a lot more than that just to say, okay, hey, I'm a realtor, buy a house from me. It really takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work. And so for you, what were some of the mistakes you've made in real estate that if you could go back and say, well, man, wish I could fix that?
Being part-time. That
Part-time.
was my biggest regret.
Gotcha.
I waited 2 years and a few months to actually become a full-time agent.
Wow.
And that was more hurtful in my career than, getting that first check, flipping that first check to be a full-time agent.
Gotcha.
So that was my biggest issue.
Gotcha.
You?
I would say my biggest mistake is not having the right mindset.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, like I said before, I came in with the wrong mindset. I thought it was going to be easy. I thought it was just going to be a walk in the park.
Okay.
But once I got into the business and realized it takes a lot of work, it's a grind. Like,
It is.
especially when you're a new agent,
Right.
you have to get people to trust you, believe in you, and want to do business with you.
Right.
It takes a lot out of you to want to convince that person, hey, I'm the person for you to make this happen. And so that was my biggest mistake. I would probably go back and change my mindset into it, because when you're used to having a 9 to 5, or when you're used to you clock in at 9, you get off at 5, it's not the same when you're a realtor.
Nope.
You're grinding
Constantly.
like constantly. Like, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going to the gym, getting back 7, and get ready to get my day started. So, and then going to 8, 9, and sometimes 10 o'clock, even later.
Yeah.
Because I still got a prospect. I still got to write contracts.
Okay.
So that would be my biggest mistake that I've made. Having the wrong mentality and not having the right perception about what it takes to be in this business.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I can see that. And I think for me, another thing too, when I first started, it was more so of a comparison.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna say the first year, because like my first year I had some deals. I had, my sphere of influence was phenomenal.
Yes.
But I was still comparing myself.
Gotcha.
I was comparing myself to a full-time agent that was putting in the work, while I wasn't succeeding just within my first year versus them. I was
Gotcha.
like, for one, I was dedicated to a job.
Uh-huh.
Then I get off that job, do 4 hours maybe in real estate in the evening. So that
Gotcha.
wasn't even the proper time for prospecting.
Uh-huh.
So I had to develop some sense of consistency.
Gotcha. Yes. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that consistency, because if you're not consistent with this business, it will eat you up.
It will eat you up.
Eat you up. So at the Build Conference with the EXP agents, why EXP?
Why EXP? For me personally, as you know, I come from a different brokerage.
Yes.
I was there for 2 years, and the level of education, the versatileness, the being versatile of the learning platforms.
Yes.
Just the model in itself, is totally different, and it matched what I stand for.
Gotcha.
So, and if you ask me, that would be another regret that I didn't join EXP or ESP as they call it. 3 years ago. So.
Got you. Okay.
You?
So I would say for me, I wasn't really convinced about EXP when I first started.
Really? Okay.
I felt that it was my ego. You know what I'm saying? Being a very military guy and real alpha, I thought I had it all figured out. I mean, what is this EXP thing you want to bring to me? And so I was like, well, I don't know. Let me think about it. So, and it took a few months. Like it wasn't like they came to me and said, "Hey, what you think about joining EXP?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's go." No, I had to really process it, watch the videos, ask a lot of questions because I had to really understand what I was about to get myself into.
Okay.
Because for me, EXP had been my third brokerage once I had gone into it, and I was only a year and a half in the business.
Okay.
So I didn't want to be one of those agents that hop around to different brokerages. I guess they call them hoppers. I don't know what they call them. Yeah. So I didn't want to be that type of person. So, but I would say now that I'm in it, it has really completely changed my business. I've doubled over how much I've done since my first year, from the training, from the level of people that's around you, you know. And I think for me, it's been super, super easy. Okay. And what I mean by that is, I can always hop out to a mega agent and say, "Hey, do you mind helping me out?" And they'll be easily, "Hey, what do you need? I'll give you all my listing presentation. I'll give you whatever you need." Like yesterday, the guy, I think his name was Pete. I don't remember his last name, but he was like, "Hey, you want to get to luxury? Hit me up in Workplace. I'll give you all my tools. I'll give you my listing presentation." And I was like, man, like who does that?
Right.
You know, at the other brokerages, they like, "Nah, bro, you need to figure it out on your own. Figure it out on your own, and you come. And then if you got any questions, I ask you questions. But I'm not going to give you my whole playbook."
Right.
And this guy was like, "If you want it, I'll give it to you. I'll give you exactly how I got it to luxury real estate." And so that for me, the level of training, the level of mentorship, the level of coaching, and they want to see you succeed. And that's the thing. They want to see you succeed, which has really propelled me to be like, man, if they want to see me succeed, the sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit.
If your nickel is to the moon, they're going to give you everything you need to get to that moon. So, I mean, it's just been a blessing, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So we talked about EXP. So what do you think is the biggest misconception that people out there think about EXP? That they have no idea, like, you know.
I think for one, now as an EXP agent, I believe the outside world believe that we just promote stocks.
Yep.
And they have a negative notion that, you can get stocks from anywhere. But it's so much more than stocks. You know, it's a platform where you can really set that time. You know, we all get into real estate to get our time back. You know, and with that time, you need a financial backing for that.
Yes.
So what I'm learning, and you know, like they say, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yes.
So when I saw those numbers on the thing, I immediately went back to me when I was first asked to join EXP. I was very hesitant. I think it took me 4 months.
Okay.
To join EXP. So for me, it just, I think for other agents, they just see it as, they only promote stocks. It's way more than stocks.
Yes. Absolutely.
Way more than stocks.
Absolutely.
To me, I just see it as a place where I can literally get my time back, which is the most important.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think for me, I think the biggest misconception that people think about us is only thing we're doing is trying to do agent attraction and trying to bring more agents on. But I don't know if you saw the new newsletter, we hit over $1 billion in sales. $1 billion. So, and that was like I think it was like a 50% increase from last year to this year. So that's been the biggest misconception I think people should know. We still sell real estate.
Yeah, we still
you know what I'm saying? Like we're not just out here promoting stock and the little rev share thing. We are actually on the grind still selling real estate.
Yeah.
And to see those agents putting up major numbers. The guy yesterday, his team sold 1,700 properties?
Yeah.
In a year?
In a year.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's been like the number one team
for 3 years.
For 3 years.
Yeah,
so
3 years.
That's the biggest misconception I think you all should understand. We are still selling real estate.
Yeah.
I still sell real estate. I'm going to continue to sell real estate. We're going to continue to sell real estate.
Yeah.
And so, because I love doing it.
Me too.
I mean, let me ask you this question. What do you love most about selling real estate?
I would say, it's the meeting of different people. But I won't say that just to be, cliche about it.
Yeah.
I think my biggest thing, I can be a part of the memory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you think of, when you walk into, especially if you love the house, you have good memories, you have bad memories. But in the beginning of anyone purchasing a home, that's a feeling of relief.
Gotcha.
So I can always be a part of that feeling of relief to that family. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
That's one of my biggest joys, being a part of the memory.
Yes. Yeah. And I think mine's along the same line as yours. I think the joy I get from it is seeing that new buyer who's buying their first new construction house, seeing that lady who wants to retire after living in a house for 20, 30 years, and she just wants to move on to her retirement home.
Yeah.
I think that joy outweighs any type of commission checks, anything that I get from real estate.
Right.
Because that feeling you get lasts a lifetime.
It does.
You know, that friendship or that relationship you have with that client or customer will last you a lifetime. So that's why I still love doing it. I'll continue to love doing it because that's why I got into it. You know, so, and it's all the other stuff that EXP has. They're just like icing on top of the cake.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, so leave everybody with your lasting thing about EXP, the real estate game, and anything else.
It's definitely worth getting into, looking into it. Now, I won't get up here and say it's for everybody. I won't put that out there.
True.
But it is for people that's like-minded, that don't mind the hustle.
Yes.
A real hustle, because it's going to take consistency. So if you're a person that will jump on a fad just because it's, you know, a part of the now, no, don't do it, because you're going to be wasting your money.
Yes.
EXP, I'm not leaving EXP. You know, I wanted to get my broker license.
Yes.
I'll get it and just be a broker associate, you know. But EXP is my home now, where I will retire. I'm going to be on that stage next year, you know, speaking, showing my rev share checks. So that's
okay.
That's it. You?
I think for me, the same thing goes in line. I mean, like, this ain't for everybody. Had a young lady come on as a realtor, but didn't understand that consistency and the hard work takes time before you start getting those checks and commission checks in.
Right.
So she dipped out and said, hey, I need to go back to a 9 to 5 because this ain't working for me.
It's not working.
So I think if you really want to be in this business, have a plan.
Yes.
Have a plan of how you're going to get into this business. And then when you have that plan and you're ready to go full time and burn the boat like Shalonda did, go full time. I mean, don't look back, because do you ever look back and be like, man, I should have.
Now, transparency.
Go ahead, transparency, go ahead.
I have had my moments where, especially when you see that bank account dropping, you know, you be like, okay, what's going on? It's a couple of weeks before the check came in, so I'd be like, okay, did I make the right decision? But then with the support that I have around me, they balance it. So, you know, Shalonda, you know, just keep focusing. If you go back to a 9 to 5, it's going to hinder you and prolong you reaching your goals.
Gotcha.
So that's another thing. Make sure your circle matches your vision.
Yes.
So I have my moments,
that's
but I don't stay in that moment. You know, I have my moment, get out of it.
Yes.
So really, no, I don't.
Yep. And I would say also too, I would say this, for those business owners, broker owners, take a look at EXP. I mean, I've seen a lot of broker owners bring their business, their entire business to EXP and have been like carefree.
Right.
Like, they have a life that they never thought they could have had because they had to always sell real estate. So if you are a broker owner and you're watching this video, definitely take a look at EXP and what we can do for you. And I say we because we own the company. We own everything. So anything that EXP acquires, like Success Magazine, I own Success Magazine. Who would ever thought that I would own a Success Magazine, Verbella, Virtual World? I own those things now. So definitely take a look at EXP. If you're thinking about being in the real estate game, talk to us first. You know, it ain't made for everybody, but those broker owners out there that are killing it and crushing it, take a look at EXP. All right, here's in the comment section below. And you want to tell everybody where they can find you at?
Shalonda Lampkin on all platforms. Softer Side of Real Estate on YouTube. 407-490-5023 is my telephone number. I do answer my phone, so you'll always reach me.
Hey, so if you don't know me, The Bearded Realtor on all social media platforms, and on Twitter, I'm The Bearded One. So that's where I'll be found at. You can hit me up down below, and I'll reach back out to you in the comment section.
Is it the or?
THA, sorry, THA. So the other guy took it, so I just put THA on it. So that's how that got started. Yep.
And we are out.
Thank you. Cool.
Make sure to record it. Ain't nobody call. Record it.
Are you serious? What happened to your thing? Did your battery die? No. Yes, it did, yo. Your battery did. Yes, it did, yo.
It did. No.
Yes, it did. What's that little thing up there? I told you.
No, it recorded.
Okay.